What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast back for another week. I am your host, Alex Leak, and this is the 2019 Week 6 Houston Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs episode. The 3-2 Texans at the 4-1 Chiefs. A big game pitting two great quarterbacks, a possible rivalry for years to come. Patrick Mahomes against Deshaun Watson. Chiefs coming off a big loss on Sunday Night Football against the Colts at home. So a big game here, getting Tyreek Hill back. So a lot of people were picking the Chiefs to win this. And let's get into it. In Aaron Rodgers fashion, Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes catches the Texans defense jumping off sides and throws the ball deep on a free play into double coverage, where wide receiver Tyreek Hill catches and reaches for a 46-yard touchdown to put the Chiefs up 7-0. A great athletic play by Tyreek Hill. And those are the plays that are so valuable in the NFL. I was talking about this earlier in the year, that the elite quarterbacks can sense or know when they have a free play, and they don't care about throwing it in a double or triple coverage, because even if it gets intercepted, the flag's on the play and it's a free 5 yards. Here he throws it up in the double coverage. Tyreek Hill jumps, catches it over everybody, and reaches for a touchdown. Hell of a play and hell of a start to the game for the Chiefs. Then, on the Texans' first play from scrimmage, they give it to running back Carlos Hyde, who fumbles the ball, recovered by Chiefs defensive end Frank Clark deep in Houston territory. A 41-yard field goal by Harrison Butker puts the Chiefs up 10-0 to start this game. Houston kicker Jaime Fairbairn would hit a 44-yarder to make it 10-3. Then Patrick Mahomes would throw a 14-yard touchdown pass to running back Damian Williams, and the Chiefs would lead 17-3 early. Texans star quarterback Deshaun Watson hits Duke Johnson for an 11-yard touchdown pass. Fairbairn's extra point is no good. They cut the score to 17-9 Kansas City. Then Patrick Mahomes throws his first interception of the season in the end zone to Texans safety Tashawn Gibson. It looked like Mahomes thought there was going to be a flag on that play as well, but the officials pick up the flag, and it's Mahomes' first interception of the year. Running back Carlos Hyde rushes for a 2-yard touchdown. So it's 17-16. They cut the score to 17-16. The Texans don't go for two here, which I like. I think it's a smart decision. There's no need to go for two in the first half. I don't care if it's going for two that would tie the game up at 17. It doesn't matter, because you're not winning the game in the second quarter. If it's the fourth quarter, that's a different story, but you're potentially taking points away. If you're scoring 6, 6, 6, next thing you know, you're sitting at 18 points instead of 21, and that's a big difference. So they miss the extra point early, they kick it again, and they make it this time. Also, extra points are a good way to build confidence for your kicker if you need him to kick a long field goal later. For example, Harrison Butker misses a 50-yard field goal attempt here. Then Deshaun Watson throws an interception into the end zone, and Chiefs rookie safety Juan Thornhill makes the interception. Great play, or a nice play. Mahomes throws in the double coverage, and it gets picked off. It looked like two Texan receivers were running the same route, and so it led to whichever receiver gets thrown to is going to be double covered there. So it's a miscommunication on offense. The first play after the interception, only 23 seconds left in the first half, or not much time. And instead of just, maybe the Chiefs should just kneel it or take the lead in the halftime. You're up 1. Instead, they try to throw it. Mahomes drops back and gets strip sacked by Texans rookie defensive end Charles Omenihu, recovered by linebacker Bernardic McKinney at the Chiefs' 4-yard line. So, rough way to end the first half, to get strip sacked and have the Chiefs recover, or the Texans recover. And Deshaun Watson rushes in for a 3-yard touchdown, gives the Texans a 23-17 lead at halftime, compared to if the Chiefs just knelt on it, it would be 17-16. Maybe a coaching blunder by Andy Reid, maybe being too aggressive in the first half. Then Fairbairn misses a 46-yard field goal attempt. A 6-yard touchdown pass from Mahomes to Tyreek Hill gives the Chiefs a 24-23 lead. Then the Texans driving down into the red zone on 3rd and goal. Deshaun Watson, the pass into the end zone, intercepted by Chiefs corner Charvarius Ward on an amazing one-handed catch. Usually, Deshaun Watson, that's who he was throwing it to on the play, was DeAndre Hopkins, sorry. Throwing the ball to DeAndre Hopkins here. Usually, Hopkins is the guy you see making these great one-handed catches, but solid defense by Charvarius Ward and picks off the pass, one-handed. Texans were not expecting that, and again, leaving points on the board in the red zone. I hate doing that. Could come back to cost the Texans, a red zone pick like that, but the Texans respond. Deshaun Watson ends up rushing in for a 1-yard touchdown, and they go for 2 on a pass to DeAndre Hopkins, which is good to give the Texans a 31-24 lead. I'm kind of torn on this decision. I can live with this 2-point conversion just because it worked. You kick the extra point, it's 30-24, but I understand that Patrick Mahomes is on the other side, and he's fully capable of going and getting 7. I would have been tempted just to kick the extra point, and it might have worked out, but, if they didn't get it, they're only down 5. It still might have worked out, but I'm just not a fan of going for 2 unless you absolutely need to. But I do understand Bill O'Brien's type of thinking here with Patrick Mahomes on the other side, the reigning league MVP. Threw 50 touchdowns last year, so he's fully capable of going down the field in a hurry. Then another ballsy decision by head coach Bill O'Brien for the Texans, goes for it on 4th and 3 from the Chiefs' 27-yard line. Chiefs, no timeouts left. I kind of like this decision. O'Brien going for the kill here. Has Deshaun Watson pass it to DeAndre Hopkins for the first down, and just like that, the game's over. The Chiefs can't stop the clock. Texans kneel on it and win the game 31-24 in Arrowhead. A huge win for the Texans, and back-to-back home losses for the Chiefs is pretty incredible. I'm always a believer in going for the kill. Don't allow the team a possession, an opportunity, if you can end the game right there. And I like that Bill O'Brien goes for it on 4th and 3 here, picks up the first down, and they can just kneel on it and win the game. Giving Mahomes another shot at it is never a good idea. So a huge win for the Texans in Arrowhead. Houston improves to 4-2. The Chiefs, after starting the year 4-0, dropped to 4-2 with 2 straight home losses. Pretty crazy. For the Texans, their stats: quarterback Deshaun Watson combines for 322 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. I thought after this game you put Watson into the MVP conversation. He came through time and time again with big plays when it mattered most, converting on 4th downs and using his legs to pick up first downs and touchdowns. Great all-around game by Watson. And if Will Fuller could catch, you could throw 2 more touchdowns up on his stat line. So, incredible game for Watson. Running back Carlos Hyde rushes 26 times for 116 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 fumble loss. This is Hyde's first 100-yard rushing game since 2017. Running back Duke Johnson, who requested a trade out of Cleveland when they signed Kareem Hunt to go with Nick Chubb. Duke Johnson found a decent home here in Houston, combines for 54 yards and a receiving touchdown as the number 2 back. Kicker Kaimi Fairbairn goes 1 of 2 on field goals and 2 of 3 on extra points. And defensive end J.J. Watt, who doesn't get talked about as much anymore, has 14 quarterback hits on the season. That's the most in the NFL. So he's still doing his thing. Don't sleep on J.J. Watt. Texans' offensive line did not allow a sack for the second straight game, and Houston improves to a record of 3-0 since 2017 when Deshaun Watson is not sacked. So the Texans led the NFL in sacks given up last year. 2 straight games of not allowing a sack is awesome. They got to keep that up, and if the Texans can keep that up, there's, the ceiling is the roof on how far this Texans team can go. You see a game like tonight, like Sunday, going into Arrowhead and getting a big win. They need to do that come playoff time. I was a little bit disappointed in the Texans and Watson in the playoffs last year, a home game against the Colts, but they've got the weapons, and if they can protect Watson, there's no telling how far this team can go. For the Chiefs stats, quarterback Patrick Mahomes goes 19 of 35 for 273 yards, 3 touchdowns and 2 turnovers, a pick and a fumble lost. Tyreek Hill, in his first game back from injury, catches 5 for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kicker Harrison Butker goes 1 of 2 on field goals and 3 of 3 on extra points. The recipe for beating the Chiefs is, keeping the great quarterbacks and great offenses, high-powered offenses off the field. That's what the Colts did last week. That's what the Texans did this week. Chiefs' time of possession in this game is only 20 minutes and 12 seconds. That's the lowest in a home game for the Chiefs since 1991. Very impressive. Great job by the Texans defense. And just playing a balanced offense where you run the ball, take time off the clock. That's how you win football games against elite quarterbacks and offenses. Next up for these two teams on Thursday Night Football tomorrow night, the 4-2 Chiefs go to Mile High to take on the 2-4 Broncos. We'll see if the Chiefs can get back on the winning side of football with a game in Denver, a divisional game. This is a game that came down to the end last year in Denver, so we'll see how the Chiefs do in Week 7. For the Texans, they improved to 4-2 and will be heading to Lucas Oil Field in Indianapolis to take on the 3-2 Colts. That's a big game, a game I want to watch next week. 4-2 Texans at 3-2 Colts, 2 big division games coming up. So we're getting right into the meat of the season. Big games every week, like this one. Hell of a game. I think the Chiefs will bounce back, but I think they'll be fine. Still Super Bowl contenders, but Andy Reid's offense seems to go through these spurts of, a lull in the offense, not getting everything to go their way, kind of, just trying to get back to it, And I don't understand. I mean, remember when the Chiefs started 5-0 with Alex Smith, and Alex Smith was league MVP, and then they kind of came back down to earth. I thought the same thing might happen last year. It didn't really seem to. But after 2 straight home losses, it's fair to ask the question. So we'll see if they can bounce back on the road in a divisional game against the Broncos tomorrow night. I expect them to. I think the Chiefs get the win there, but it won't be easy. I think it'll be a hard-fought game. Same with Texans-Colts. So great football happening and on deck. So hope you guys are enjoying it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Appreciate all of you guys checking out this podcast. Appreciate the support. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Let's get the subscribe numbers up. And I'm going to keep these episodes coming out weekly. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you, and have a great week. Peace out.